Did you know there was a college Christmas party tonight? NFI, me and you, not fucking invited.
You alright?
Yeah, I've got a flat tire.
Take my bike.
Hey, that is so kind. Thank you. I'm sorry I don't know your name. I'm Felix.
Oliver.
Oliver. Oliver, I love you. I love you. All right, cheers, Ollie.
My parents, they've got problems.
What kind of? What do you mean problems?
I don't think I'll ever go home again.
Well, why don't you come home with me? Come to Saltburn.
Mr. Quick.
Wow.
And here he is now.
Oh, what beautiful eyes. Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah, I told you it wasn't a minger.
Oh, but darling, you're kind about everyone. You can't be trusted.
I had them hang up an old school dinner jacket. We dressed for dinner here.
Dressed for dinner?
Yeah, it was like black tie.
I think I like you even more than last year's one.
You're so,
So what?
real.
Can't have been easy for Venetia. With you being a mother.
Why?
Now it's time to take things up a notch. Shawty had them apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur.
This place? You know, it's not for you.
Lots of people get lost in Saltburn.
Oh, that's just giving me goosebumps. Look, Pamela. Oh, no.
I think you're a moth. Quiet, harmless, drawn to shiny things.
What have you done? I just thought that maybe I could help.
You're not leaving us. You're not leaving Saltburn.
I don't think I'll ever go home again.
Boom, there you go. That was a trailer for Saltburn. Woo! Was that something, y'all? It's your boy Kuya Nerds Rule the World, and I'm so excited, so delighted to talk with my pal Heather Hertz, who me and her husband kind of had to force her into watching this film, y'all.
I wouldn't say force. It was more like you gave me some background, and I was kind of like, all right, you need to be in the right right mindset. And then my husband was just like, well, I want to watch it, so he watched it without me, and I didn't know that. So I watched it without him. And
Okay. So real quick, y'all, we're going to kind of speed things up. We've got a lot of stuff on the channel, and we've got a lot of reviews to cover. So real quickly, this story, my man, Barry Keoghan, is that how you pronounce his last name? It's a Keoghan. I'm not sure how to pronounce this brother's name, but he's a fantastic actor.
I thought it was like Cone or something. Like it was, you say it very quick. People in the comments, we know that we know Barry stands are going to come in here. Come on, tell us how it is.
He's amazing, y'all. I love him.
Yes.
He was amazing in the Banshees of Inisherin. He was in Eternals. Fantastic actor. I'm a huge fan of his. We also got Jacob Elordi. You know what? I know I generally do like story than cast. I'm just going to cover this part. Jacob Elordi, who I was introduced through Priscilla. That was the first time I saw him. And now around the same time, he has his Saltburn. Phenomenal actor as well. I'm really excited for both those actors. We got Archie Madekwe, I think, who we saw recently in Gran Turismo. And I'm forgetting the rest of Rosamund Pike, I think, right over here, who's the mama. Amazing. She has a great set of lines in part of the film that I really dug her take. And she's got some other scenes that she's pretty good in. But phenomenal cast. And I'm forgetting some of the actors. My apologies. Takes a village to make a wonderful film. And boy, they did. Oh, I got to give a shout out to the writer-director on this, Emerald Fennell. She did Promising Young Woman, who she won she had some nominations. I think she won on that. And boy, is she a visionary, crazy writer and artistic in her shots. Let's get into Saltburn. We have Barry Keoghan meeting Jacob at this university. And then they decide, Barry gets invited to Jacob's summer home mansion. He's kind of like the aristocratic part of like an aristocratic family in England. And we just see him kind of get involved with his family, and we learn more about this society of the rich and how Barry wants to really be a part of the family and starts crushing on other members of the family. And we're not really crushing, but just making his way through this family. It's a wild film, probably the wildest film I've seen in years. And let me toss it to Heather. What did you think about the story and this wildness? I know I'm leaving a lot of stuff to the side, Heather. I don't know if we want to spoil or give too much away, but girl, all I was saying the whole time watching this film was like, what? You should have saw the emotions that ran through, which I'm sure went through you watching this film.
I actually want to start with your opinion because I think I have a very different one than most people. So go ahead and say how you felt about this movie first.
So I was like, again, I went through all the range of emotions. I thought it was wild, but I love this film. I really enjoyed this film. I wasn't sure what to expect. I was like, I think when we did reacts to it, that
it was an entirely different film.
Yeah, I thought it was an entirely different film. It was just like, it's just rich white people get to just live it up and do whatever they want to do, drugs, rock and roll, and all of that. Little did I know we was gonna just like get even more crazy with it, and that's what this film brought. I don't know. I'm trying to be careful. I feel like everybody who's going to watch this had probably already seen this film, and they're gonna be like,
seen it. Don't worry about it.
You know what I'm saying? I was just like, Barry, man, he went out there. I don't know if I could have the bravery that this man did to just like really show it all. Especially that ending scene, like Barry lets his little Barry out there. If it's that, you know what I was about to say, is it a little Barry? I think maybe it's a little bit longer Barry, but say that, then people are gonna be like, oh, but you were really looking at his little Barry, huh? Hey, man, respect to Barry, but then Barry had to put it in the dirt. Barry had to swallow some bathtub water. He didn't mind, going downtown. I was just literally blown away. It was freaky, it was wild, it was creative, it was artistic. I like that Emerald just went out there. Shout out to Emerald Fennell, a phenomenal writer, artistic, creative director. She just like, what, you want to just blow people away. Let me do it without restraint. And we need creatives like that. And that's what I appreciated. It's wild. It's out there. But there's a consistent story. There's reasons for what we're going through. We get to go on this journey with Barry Keoghan. I thought everybody acting wise did a phenomenal job, and just the story, it has its ups and turns. It's going to trip you out. It may not be for all, but for those of us that don't care about like restraints and just live life, I think they appreciate it, and I very much appreciated it. I thought it was a fun film, crazy. I did not know and it was good for all the right and wrong reasons. That's my take, Heather. How about you?
Without its shock value, it was actually a pretty mundane film. Ooh. That is my opinion. I love the acting. It was phenomenal. The story was a good infiltration/obsession story. It's when you obsess and you infiltrate, you can get into anywhere at any place at any time. And it proves that you can break into the 1% this way. However, one of the big problems, this also demonstrates a big example of the spoiler mentality. People were just happily willing to spoil this film. And I'm not saying, I know that's been a minute. I'm not saying that I haven't known this stuff, but there have been spoilers for this film since basically day one. And a lot of it had to do with trigger warnings. A lot of it had to do with nudity. A lot of it had to do with certain things. But when you know what's coming, the movie becomes kind of boring. It becomes a very cliche obsession and infiltration film. Once again, love the acting. That's definitely another problem. The writing was original. There was a way to go, but I kind of got a little bit bored. I knew exactly what was going to happen. Everyone's kind of told me. And sometimes acting and sometimes the writing can't outweigh the fact that you got a cliche going on. Where I see this film truly flopping from a future perspective is now that you see all the spoilers, everyone's been talking about it. This will not be a rewatch film. That is where my opinion really comes into play. Once again, the movie was beautiful. It was interesting. It was done. It was kind of a boring interesting, but it was interesting. It had some fun shock value. But when you take out the shock, are you interested in seeing it again, knowing everything that's going to happen?
Well, because I didn't have my experience spoiled. This is definitely
now that you've seen it, you're not going to have that shock anymore. So
yeah, I'm not gonna have that shock, but I think I would still check it out because it's just it's an interesting character study of people and how crazy and abnormal people are. Like that's the shock value makes me want to watch it again personally. But I'm saddened, because you didn't have the initial experience, and so I can totally understand where you're coming from, and understand why. That would have fucked me up too. Excuse my language. I apologize, y'all. But
if we ever cared.
But no, that makes me upset because I was very careful in my conversations with you, I believe, to a degree. Although I think I called you because I was so literally blown. I think I did call you like 2 or 3 days after.
Did tell me.
Did I spoil it as much as other people did though?
No, you told me about the bathwater scene because you're like, this is how crazy the movie gets.
Okay.
Like you're like, this was the craziest movie to me. But the other moments where he fucks the grave, where he eats her out while she's on her period. I'm sorry, spoiler free. But this is not spoiler free. All of this stuff. I mean, it's a bisexual dream. We get to see him get to do a lot of fun stuff, doing weird things. But it's when you take out shock.
Yeah.
My opinion of any movie is you shouldn't be beholden to your shock value. And a lot of this movie, while I'm watching it, understanding that these things are coming, this movie is basically living up to that shock value, and that it loses a lot of the excitement to me that way.
Yeah.
So
I don't disagree with you because when I've had films ruined for me, like this film, at least from my appearances with hearing your thoughts, got ruined for you in a way. You didn't have the true experience. You didn't have the experience I had where I went in with like nothing. So if I were you in your shoes, I when that happens to me, I lose all interest and it kind of fades everything. So I respect all that. And I'm saddened by that because the shock really got me with this and it makes me want to return to it. But I totally understand. And that's what's terrible with, moviegoers, and even people like us that try to be very cognizant of people and watching what we say, so that way we don't mess up that experience. And it's just unfortunate. But I totally respect and understand your opinion. But yeah, for me, it was crazy. It was wild, artistic, and I would check it out again. But I totally understand and why. And I'm saddened that you had the experience because like for me, when I have a fun, wild, crazy experience. You want other people to experience that crazy wild ride. And that's why I was like, man, yeah, John hasn't seen it and he wants to see it. That's why I was like, Heather, you got to see it. You know what I'm saying? Because you want that energy and that flow to be reciprocal with your friends that you care about.
Absolutely.
Saddened that you didn't get that. But yeah, for me, it was wild and crazy, but I respect and I'm just saddened that you didn't get that. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Like but what it really did. But I think I do have a fortunate perspective where I was just like, you know what? If this movie is sitting on shock value, I don't know if it's as strong of a movie as most people are saying it is. I was not shocked. Thus, I did not feel as strongly. And I think that's an important perspective for everyone to come out of when you see a movie that is so heavy in shock on a very few things, take those out of the equation and consider what you feel about the movie. For me, I kind of felt it was a bit cliche at that point. And it's okay. I am a critic. You have your own opinions. It's how it works. But it's one of those where it is what it is. And I'm kind of happy that I got this perspective because I can give us a different one now.
Yeah, and for us with our reviews, with what we do, this is good, so people can see this is how it's open, it's honest, it's real. So real quick before we come up out of here. I just had a quick question. Were you already a fan of Barry? And are you a fan of Barry?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I don't know if he's done Shakespearean lines. Like you can find like old stuff of him doing Shakespeare. Like, dude is a phenomenal actor, and he is going to be one of the greats of our time. He is going to be.
And what do you think about Jacob? You recently saw Priscilla. Was that, I don't know if Priscilla was your first time watching something of his, but having seen 2 back-to-back stuff, I think he's an impressive young actor as well. What do you think about Jacob Elordi?
I do think that he's going to be kind of put into this kind of like pretty boy corner, which will be unfortunate. I hope he can break out of that, because right now all he's done is he's kind of done these kind of emotionally stunted men, and I would like him to character. I would and they're the same in that they're not, but at the same time I would like to see more. I would like to see him grow. I would like to see him not be thrown into a corner.
Same. I got the vibes of my man from Twilight who became our Batman, Pattinson. He definitely gave me like Pattinson feels, early Pattinson, but I think he has the makings though to be like Pattinson became our Batman. From vampire to Batman. I get the vibes that Elordi could kind of do the same, targeted around it. It's all about his choices and how he goes as filmmaker. But good times. And Archie Madekwe, who was in Gran Turismo, he's a great actor as well. Wasn't expecting what we saw with him in this film as well. But just a great cast. And there you go, y'all. Those are our opinions, our vibes, our feelings. We gave it to you all. We are from the heart, shock value. I can see that. Non-shock value, and but just all those people out there, please don't spoil for others, and so they can get their true experience, man. Let them vibe on their own, y'all. There you go. Heather Hurt, your boy KP, Nerds Rule the World, Saltburn. Where's it streaming right now as it's recording?
Amazon Prime. It is an Amazon MGM movie. You can get it for free if you have the subscription.
There you go.
Maybe without commercials.
Thank you, Heather. You know what? That we should do that more, so when people know, they can go check it out. There you go, y'all. Saltburn, KP, Nerds World the World, Heather Hurt. We out. Peace. What's going on, world? It's your boy Kuya P. Nerds World. The World just got out of the press screening for Saltburn, y'all. Man, listen, that joint, my initial thoughts coming out, wild, crazy, not what was I expecting, insane. I'm somewhat speechless. I'm trying to figure out words for this joint. There's going to be a lot of people talking about this joint because it's absolutely bonkers. There's just some scenes that it's kind of hard to phrase. You got to see it, but a lot of people are going to be talking about it. I will be talking about it. I'll have a full review. Saltburn, y'all. Your boy, Kuya P. I don't know what I just watched, man. This joint was crazy. Yeah, I'm out. Your boy P.